Japan celebrates New Year's Eve very differently to the rest of the world, where you'll be eating long soba noodles, going to shrines and praying, and then doing some shopping the next day. So join me for my first time experience it by myself in Tokyo. It's officially the 31st of December here in Tokyo, so the last day of 2024 this year has flown by, and I'm losing time even today. It's already 3 p.m. and I've just been at home, still in my pajamas, kicking back because I'm gonna go out in the evening. It's a big thing in Japan to go out and do Hatsumode, which is the first shrine visit of the year. And I figured I have nothing going on, so I'm gonna go at midnight and do that. Before then, I'm actually going to get a few things done, including the hometown tax donation program, as well as buying some soba. And so I'm gonna take you along for my day. If you've ever been in Japan around New Year's time, you'll definitely have come across one of these, and this is called kagami mochi, and it signifies like bringing good luck and fortune into the new year. I love the just look of it, and of course this is actually a soft toy. I got it as decoration when I was Christmas shopping at 3 coins. It's so freaking adorable. But the other day I was out shopping in the local neighborhood and I came across a tiny little store and got myself a real kagami mochi to display in my room. So I think you display these until about the 10th of January and then you're allowed to eat it. Because I thought on the 1st of January you got to eat it, but no, it's got to like stick around for a little bit. But while I was at 3 coins, I also picked up another thing, which is ema. And you'll see these at shrines in Japan, and I thought, oh, that's so fun, you can like make it at home. But then I opened it up and it has the like corniest English on it. It says 2025, let your dreams take flight in the new year. Usually if you buy these at the shrine, they're quite expensive. I've never personally gone and bought it and then written a message, but these were like 300 yen for 2. Although I realized the flaw in my thinking is that where can I even hang it? I can't just bring this to the like any random shrine, I don't think anyway. So I guess I'm just gonna hang it in my room for maybe until the 10th. Yep. I also got myself a cute little golden daruma, and so daruma in Japan also have a huge significant meaning where it's related to luck and fortune throughout the year. And I think what you have to do is you think of something that you want to come true or a wish, and then you paint the color of one eye black. And then if your wish or fortune comes true throughout the year, you paint the other one in and you have good luck. Otherwise, you need to bring this to a shrine and burn it. So I'm gonna fill this out for next year with my goals, dreams, and see how we go. I'll keep me accountable, although I can't tell you what it is, because that's bad luck. And at the bottom, it's also an omikuji, so that's a fortune, because it doubles up as both. And I got this at Loft for 500 yen. I think it's pretty good value. And finally, I also want to show you this calendar. I picked this up about 2 or 3 months ago. Isn't this the cutest thing? So lucky cat. There's a big luck theme here, I guess, in New Year's. I don't really realize, but the maneki neko, the lucky cat, calendar for the new year. And every single month it's a different colored or themed maneki neko. For example, in February we have Setsubun, the holiday here in Japan where they throw, it's not nuts, I think they throw something, beans. They throw beans at the children and there's like a demon, that's why it's like the red cat. And then yeah, every month it's a bit different. One of the coolest things about working in Japan is that if you do your taxes here, you actually get a gift in return. And that's what it is on the surface. It's a little more complicated, but essentially, if you pay your taxes ahead of time and donate it to a prefecture other than your own, you will get a gift in return. There are thousands and thousands of items that you can choose from all over the country, and these things will include like wagyu. People love to get wagyu. Or fruit, expensive Japanese fruit. Or you can get furniture, cooking utensils, you name it, and it's probably going to be available. And the catch is you need to do everything by midnight, and you need to make sure you pay the right amount because you don't want to pay too much because they're like inflated prices. It's very complicated. It's a very stressful process. Why? Because I'm an indecisive person. Why? Because there's thousands of options and I love to like dig deep. So let me just get into this. I have actually been searching for this knife on this website for hours now. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I found so many good deals for knives, but a lot of them were mass produced, and I figured I want to get something that's special and actually support the locals. And I found this really cool one. I mean, look at it, it looks freaking awesome. And it's from Kyushu, like this tiny, tiny little village in Kagoshima, I think. Oh my god, look at it, it looks so cool. I have no idea if it's actually going to be a good knife, but I searched it on Google. It seemed legit. I couldn't find too much information about it because I think they're so local that they've been doing it for a couple of generations and they're not on the internet. And I'm like, that's probably a good sign, right? Anyway, there are a few more things that I'm going to order and hope for the best, but I'm going to show you guys this in a future vlog in the new year because they will arrive at random times throughout the year. I have no idea when they'll get here, but for now I need to get ready and think about where to go today. It's time to hit up the supermarket, and the moment you enter, you will see all of the kagami mochi just lining the shelves. And it's so fun because I just buy them. I see them, I'm like, I want it. But yeah, so you can see they've got the snake theme ones. You even have some sake on the side. They're really pushing all these seasonal things. And there's also things that you can put on your door, ornaments. It's crazy. As well as senzai, which is a red bean soup. And oh my gosh, the strawberries are in stock in the supermarket now. And you bet I picked one up, even though it was very expensive. And because my supermarket was closing for about 4 days, everything was sold out. I'm not kidding. Like even milk, tofu, all gone. So I stocked up on what I could, and then I headed back home to prepare my dinner. It's a big custom here on New Year's Eve to eat something called toshikoshi soba. And I've gone to the supermarket and got myself exactly that. We have some nama soba, which is basically fresh soba noodles. It's still got the flour on it. My goodness, everything was sold out. I'm lucky I even got this. I guess because I went around 4 p.m, there was still stock. But if I had gone closer to the end of the day, I don't even think the frozen soba would have been there. The other day when I went, they had a bunch still, so buy it early. Learn from my mistakes. Anyhow, so the whole custom of this soba eating on New Year's Eve kind of is a way to like have a clean slate, and I think that's common in most cultures where the new year signifies change and new beginnings. And I kind of like that because I'm like most people where I'm like, let's leave this year in the past and move forward. I've actually had the toshikoshi soba many times in Japan before, and it's always the most simple form of soba, just the soba noodles in a hot broth, and you just slurp it away. So I'm gonna prepare it. It's my first time preparing it by myself, so we'll see how I go. I also got these green onion and dashi. I only ever make hot udon, so it'll be a new thing to try out. Hopefully this works. Now to prepare this toshikoshi soba, we only need a few ingredients. Soba noodles, green onion, as well as mentsu. And we're gonna start by chopping the green onion as small and like thinly as possible. I'm still pretty bad at this, but we're gonna put them in a bowl and then we're gonna make the broth, which we also need mirin for. And then you bring that to a boil and then you're gonna add in your soba noodles and only cook them for about a minute because we don't want them to be too soft. And there you go, that's it. I finished making my soba noodles and I'm very curious how it'll taste. It smells great. Itadakimasu. I did a really good job. This is really nice. Such a simple meal. Usually I prefer to have my soba noodles cold, which is called zaru soba, but because it's winter, this totally makes sense. I've run out of shichimi, so this is a sad day. And then the supermarket's closed for like 3 days, so I have to survive with no shichimi. So another big thing here on New Year's is to watch TV, and they have a really big program for music called Kohaku, and it's about to start, so I've just turned the TV on to check it out. It goes like until midnight, and like the most popular artists of each year go on perform on it. It's like super prestigious. I've watched it a few times. And then there's like another comedy show, but I don't know if it's still going on. I feel like there's some controversy and it might not be on anymore. I also got some strawberries. I wanted to treat myself. They're so expensive at the moment. They were 700 yen. And when I was doing my furusato noze this morning, I didn't buy them because I was like reading reviews and some people are saying that they arrived at their house kind of like crushed or not fresh. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to trust buying fruit online for the expensive price. I need to pick it out at the supermarket myself. Ah, looks so good. I watched a little bit of the TV and I decided it was time to get moving because time's ticking, and I painted in my left eye of the daruma thinking of my wish, and then moved on to my ema where I filled in my dreams and wish, and I placed it in my room because, as I said, can't bring it to the shrine, and it felt kind of therapeutic writing it out in Japanese. I don't write enough in Japanese these days. Then I headed out into the city. It's so weird seeing this station here in Harajuku so empty at 9:30 at night. It's way busier usually. It's kind of eerie. Even when I left my neighborhood, it was dead quiet, so I'm kind of curious what the vibe is going to be like once I get out of the station. So along Omotesando Street, there are a bunch of the yatai, the festival stalls, and selling, you know, the usuals, yakisoba, yakitori, all sorts of stuff. It's not too busy actually. I'm kind of surprised. This is like the perfect amount of people where it's not too busy. I think I'll get something. I feel like dango, so if I can find dango, I'll get that. This was actually a really impressive stall, and they're holding it for about the first 4 days of the new year. And the first day, which I visited, so going from the 31st to the 1st, they were open until 4 a.m. in the morning. Pretty wild. I found amazake, which is a sweet fermented drink, and it's like my favorite thing to have in the winter here because it's so cold. And it was only 300 yen. It smells so amazing. Oh, that's so good. It's not too sweet either. I could see that he was using like these amazake nomi, like the origin of it to make it. Like it looked legit, so I'm really happy with this choice. And surprisingly, there aren't a lot of like repeats. Usually when you come to these matsuri, like every second stall is like the same thing. But here, I walked the whole street. It's all kind of different, with the exception for a few things. This is the only place selling amazake. And the guy was really friendly. I was just shocked at how much amazake he had in that huge pot. Like, it's gonna be hundreds of cups. There was also another dessert I was thinking of getting. They had like baby castella, which also really budget friendly. It was like 300, 400 yen. Honestly, I'm surprised. Everything here is so cheap. I was expecting them to like price it way higher because they totally could get away with it, but they're not. So awesome. So I bought these baby castella, which are really, really good. I only had them for the first time in Kyoto like a week or two ago. And these ones are cold, so I'm kind of sad. And it was 400 yen, and they're all cold. I think I have 12 in here as well. Oh my god. They're all cold. The problem with these, if they get cold, is that like they're kind of hard to chew and get dry, so I'm kind of sad. It's okay. The amazake was good at least. I was kind of disappointed my baby castellas were cold, so I went and got another hot thing. This is... It's not a dorayaki, I can't remember what it's called, but it's got custard or red bean inside, and I got the custard one. Woo! And this is definitely fresh and hot. Oh, this is really good. This is what I wanted. And this was 300 yen as well. Right now, it's almost 10 o'clock, it's a minute to, and that means Australia, it's the new year. In a minute anyway. And I'd normally call my mom and dad, but they go to bed early, so I would just send my friends a text message and say Happy New Year. It's kind of crazy because last year I was at Kuji Beach celebrating the new year with my friends, which is one of the ways that I really like doing it. We did it 2 years in a row. Oh, I wish I was there. I'm a summer New Year Christmas gal. Oh my god, 40 seconds till midnight in Australia. 2, 1. Happy New Year to all my Aussies out there! I'm just casually in the middle of Harajuku, eating a Japanese dessert. Oh, just sent my friends a message. Oh, I miss the Australian fireworks. Like, Japan doesn't do fireworks. It's kind of lame, not gonna lie. I've got 2 hours until midnight in Tokyo. I have no idea what to do to kill the time. I might go and see what the situation is like at Meiji Shrine, because I read on some online blog posts, which were from like 2018, that people were lining up from like 2 hours before and that there was no toilet. So maybe I'll go to the station, go to the toilet and then line up. I don't know.
Welcome to Japan.
Thank you. Yeah. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Everyone's in a good mood. I decided I needed to stock up on some warm drinks at the convenience store and got distracted by this New Year mochi strawberry dessert, which I grabbed to enjoy later, and got my classics, the water. I'm actually surprised. There's a lot more going on here than I would have thought. Sarutahiko Coffee, the coffee chain's open, as well as Matsumoto Kiyoshi, the pharmacy. Alright, not everything's shut down. They anticipated people. This is the perfect place for me to not only get a bathroom break in, relax a little before, I'm going to probably pop out at 11, and they're actually serving like some traditional New Year's snacks. This is the oshiruko with mochi, so it's like red bean with mochi. And that's actually what I wanted to have. I can't believe they have it. They don't always have this. It's like a limited edition special thing. And the coolest thing is I've got a view of the Meiji Jingu, so I can kind of like monitor the situation. Because right out that window there is where I'm going to be walking later. And there's tons of people in here. Like, it's not packed, but like there's a considerable amount of people. I kind of like, what are they all doing? But then again, I'm sitting here by myself, just chilling. But it's kind of cool being in Tokyo and just seeing people live normally. Because I feel like in Sydney, you could not find anything open, like especially not a coffee shop. Oh, it just warms my soul. Mochi is so good. So I'm at the front of Meiji Jingu and it's 11 p.m. and there's quite a bit of a crowd at the front just taking photos. Honestly, there's so many tourists here, it's actually surprising me, but I guess it must be quite well known that Meiji Jingu is a good place to go on New Year's Eve. I asked a couple of people who were leaving the shrine and I was like, is it busy and what did you do? They said the line is massive when you get inside, but they just took a look, turned around and came out. So I guess I got to prepare myself for what's waiting. I have no idea what to expect, but based off like Japanese Twitter, which is where I did a bit of research, I'm gonna be waiting like 2 hours. It's actually really cold in here too. Right now there's not too much of a crowd, but I honestly expected it to be like packed just the moment you walk through the first Tori gate. I expected the whole pathway to be packed with people because I went to Ise Jingu, I think that's what it's called, in Mie. Not at midnight, but on one of the first days of the year, and it was so packed and I remember lining up for a long time to go and pray there. All the sake barrels here are one of my favorite parts about visiting this shrine. I've never seen it lit up at night, so this is really fun to see. It seems like I'm about to hit the wall of people. Didn't take too long, about 5-minute walk and I'm here. I can see quite a few people turning back around. Fair enough. Basically there are 2 sections. You can either wait in the middle part to go and pray at midnight, or you can go down the other side where you can just go pray and leave. Yeah, so I'm waiting in the main section and it's currently 10 past 11. I think I'm going to be standing right here when it's midnight. While I was waiting here, they actually had a projector playing like a few different clips, so there was a little bit of entertainment if you were watching over on that screen. To keep myself entertained though, I just listened to some music like Yoasobi. It's about 2 minutes before midnight and there was an announcement saying don't count down, which is interesting. I guess it is a shrine, they want everyone to be really peaceful going in, so I wonder what will happen when it turns to midnight. Maybe it's just going to be silent. I've never experienced that. Everyone's always like, Happy New Year. Even at another shrine, when I was in Shiga, like people definitely said like, Ake ome, which means Happy New Year in Japanese. Happy New Year! Okay, there totally was a countdown. I guess everyone's like, no, we're doing it anyway. And now they're just hitting the drum and we're going to start moving in. I can see all the policemen getting ready to let us all in. Update, it's now about 12:15 and I've started to get really cold. Put a scarf on, put some heat packs on. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. The temperature drops once it hits midnight. and I guess just standing still for so long without the adrenaline now is hitting me. Everyone around me was getting excited because we were finally near the middle of the shrine, hallelujah, and I'm getting my 5 yen coin ready because that's the one that we need to throw in to pray with. I just finished praying. I'm feeling really good. I'm glad I came out and did the shrine visit, the Hatsumode, and it's 2025. It's already like 12:40. Time kind of flew by. It was slow but fast. Anyway, so yeah, over there is where you'll throw your 5 yen coin and pray. And now I'm gonna see if I can do an omikuji or maybe get like an omamori to remember this moment in time. Akeome! Akeme! After finishing my prayers, I headed over to the stores where they sell amulets as well as omikuji, the fortune. And of course I had to grab one because I don't think I'll be doing this anytime soon again. Maybe next year, who knows? Never say never, right? I'm done! I finished officially. That was quite fun. But leaving Meiji Jingu, they're actually lighting these fires, bonfires, and they have scouts standing there making sure people don't run into the fire. I asked them, I was like, what is this for? And they're like, we're here to protect the people. It's really cool though. And it smells like wood fire. Awesome. Good morning. I may have slept in until 11:30 because I didn't get home until very late. And I also visited another shrine on my way back home and prayed there, had some amazake, kind of had a chat with the locals a little bit. So that was nice, and I didn't film that because I just wanted that to be for my inner peace and welcoming in the new year that way. And I wanted to go through what I got at the shrine last night because there was nowhere for me to film it. I got this omamori, which is an amulet for good luck, and I'm praying for something in particular at the moment, so if that comes true, I'm gonna feel really good, and I'll find out pretty soon, so please work. I really like to put these on one of my backpacks, so I'll pick one out later. And this is a really cool memory of something I did on the first day of the new year. And I also did an omikuji at the shrine, but it didn't have like the regular good luck, good fortune, bad fortune. It was just like a poem, a traditional poem. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. If anyone knows, please let me know. And I waited like 15-20 minutes to get this, which was a little disappointing. Other Japanese people were like, I didn't name it. Anyhow, and then I did an omikuji at my local shrine, and I got shokichi, which I think I was meant to tie up, but I always forget, like, is this the worst luck? Shokichi is like small luck. So I probably could have tied it up, but I was so exhausted I needed to read through it later today, so I guess I can always go back and tie it up if I need to. It is the 1st of January, so I think it'll be very, very quiet out in Tokyo when I go out, but there should be a few shops open. I think a lot of them are trying to improve work conditions. I saw a news program covering it, and a lot of them are opening on the 3rd or 2nd of January rather than the 1st, which makes sense, you know, some people just don't even get normal holidays off. So I'm all in support of that, so we'll see if I can even get any of these lucky bags. I'm now in Ikebukuro and I'm gonna go try and find some lucky bags to get because it's the 1st of January and that's like the big thing. It's like Boxing Day that we have in Australia. The sales, the presents, the fun. So anyhow, I'm gonna see if I can find any. One of the most popular lucky bags is the Mr. Donut one, and I've actually bought it 3 times in the past, so this is not new to me. I was a little worried that because it's so late in the day, the Pokemon Mr. Donut Ikebukuro would be sold out, but even at 4 o'clock in Ikebukuro they still had stock for both of them, and they even started selling it earlier. So yeah, I got the smaller one because the big one was 6,000 and that's pretty expensive, and I actually preferred the stuff inside the smaller one. And I redeemed one of my donut vouchers, which it comes with, so I'm gonna have that. But I'll show you what is inside. It comes with a little pouch and this tote bag. I think this tote bag's cuter than the 6,000 one. And with this card, I get to redeem 20 donuts. So I'm gonna be buying some and just sharing with friends. And I have until basically June to get it. And it came with a little mystery card. Also, if you're playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can get, oh, I think a legendary. Well, the tote bag is really cute. I think this is nice. I really love the aesthetic of the Pokemon Mr. Donut collab. It's so cute. And it's better quality than I thought, like it's actually thick. I think the pouch is like worse quality than the tote bag, but I can definitely put like camera gear and stuff in there, so I'll use it, or like when I'm traveling. Of course, I got a Ponder ring, the best and most plain thing they have. Like there's not even sugar on this one. Alright, the moment I stepped out onto the main side of Ikebukuro, Big Camera is having this huge like Happy New Year sale, but I can't tell if it's good or not. It's like these boxes and you're guaranteed what's inside, but I think it's at a discounted rate and there's only limited numbers. Yeah, it was pretty hectic. They're all screaming. That's the thing about Japanese sales. There's always someone with a megaphone going nuts. Ikebukuro at dusk is actually pretty nice. I've never been here on a quiet, peaceful evening. I wish it was like this more often. I'm not looking for any lucky bags in particular, but if there's a sale or anything like that, I'm just here to experience it. That's why we're out here today. Doing it the Japanese way. I'd heard that Sunshine City was one of the most popular places to buy these lucky bags, and while there were a lot of stores participating, the major players like, Pokemon Center, Ghibli store, they weren't doing the lucky bags. They usually do it online now and you have to reserve it. Despite that, I still wanted to check them out, and the Ghibli store had the cutest merchandise, not related to lucky bags, but I really wanted this Howl jacket or the Calcifer fry pan. I did resist the urge, but I want to show you because it's so cute. Oh my goodness. And I did check out the Pokemon Center despite them not having the bag, but the lines to purchase anything were about 40 minutes long. And I wasn't gonna do that. So I just kept wandering around, and shopping is tiring. So I did sit down and rest for a bit. I don't know how this happened, but I sat down, took a rest, and now all the shops are closed and I haven't bought anything. Oops. So I failed. I just have my Mr. Donuts lucky bag. I'm gonna go check out what else is open in Ikebukuro on the streets, but oops. To be fair, there weren't that many cool lucky bags this year. Or maybe I'll play some crane games. That's also fun. That's also spending money. I shouldn't. Game centers. I love them and I hate them because I am not very good. Like it says here, get into the gambling oasis. Yeah, I gambled away about 700 yen, which I know is not that bad, but this Kirby Onsen collab was calling me. And this was so embarrassing. People were watching me do this. I didn't even knock this ball. The ball has to fall down and then you get the prize. It was so painful because everyone was watching. I didn't even hit it. So I tried one of these claw machines and it was so weak. I was so bad. I didn't get anything. So I decided to hit up the cinema because I saw it in the distance and I was like, I may as well watch something. It was the cheap day, only 1,300 yen to watch a movie, and Oshinoko the movie was out. So I was like, YOLO, let me check it out. This is a really fancy cinema. I've never seen anything like that. And I had a good time and I went home. That was my New Year. Happy New Year, everybody.